The year was 1967, the Cold War at its peak. Deep beneath Montana's plains, Malmstrom Air Force Base guarded America's nuclear arsenal. Hundreds of Minuteman missiles, each ready to launch. The men stationed there were trained for any threat, except what happened on March 24th. That morning, something occurred that would be hidden for decades. A direct, unexplained interference with the nation's most sensitive weapons. This wasn't just another UFO sighting, it was a physical event. Missiles going offline as an unidentified object appeared overhead. The launch facilities, buried deep and built to withstand nuclear attack, were considered fail-safe. Yet on that cold Montana morning, the impossible happened. Multiple missiles shut down all at once. Multiple military witnesses, security guards above, launch officers below, would later describe the same thing, a UFO and a simultaneous missile failure. The Malmstrom incident remains one of the most credible cases in UFO history. It forces us to ask what technology could do this and why was it covered up? This is not a story of lights in the sky, but of a direct challenge to American military power. The implications are profound, suggesting an intelligence with a keen interest in our most destructive capabilities. The story of Malmstrom is not about sensationalism, but about the serious questions it raises for our world. And it all began on a cold, starry night in Montana. At the center of this story is Robert Salas, then a first lieutenant and deputy missile launch officer at Oscar Flight. On the night of the incident, Salas and his commander, Captain Fred Maywald, were responsible for 10 nuclear missiles. Salas, a disciplined Air Force Academy graduate, was not prone to fantasy. For years he kept silent, bound by secrecy oaths, but the memory never faded. After leaving the Air Force, Salas eventually decided the public had a right to know. His testimony became a cornerstone for those demanding government transparency on UFOs. That morning, Salas was deep underground in a fortified launch capsule, monitoring the missile status. Above, security teams patrolled the empty landscape. The system was designed for maximum security. Nothing unusual was expected. Suddenly, alarms sounded. Salas saw the lights on his control panel change from green to red one by one. Panicked calls came from security guards above, reporting a strange object hovering over the site. Salas's direct account links the UFO sighting to the missile shutdown. Without his persistence, this story might have stayed buried. He was there in the capsule when America's nuclear arsenal was rendered powerless. His testimony transformed the Malmstrom incident from rumor to a major national security event. The incident began on the surface with security guards making frantic calls to the Launch Control Center. They reported a large, silent, glowing red object hovering over the front gate, saucer-shaped, 30 to 40 feet across. The guards, trained to identify threats, were visibly shaken. A maintenance crew nearby saw the same object, describing its silence and unnatural movement. The craft hovered purposefully over the missile site, as if surveying it. One guard was so distressed he had to be relieved of duty. Captain Salas, underground, took the call. At first skeptical, but the fear in the guard's voice was unmistakable. The object pulsed with bright red light, close enough to see its shape clearly. As the object hovered, chaos erupted below. Missile systems began to fail. The object eventually shot upward at incredible speed and vanished. Multiple trained observers saw it for a sustained period, providing consistent descriptions. This was no misidentified star or weather balloon. It was a structured craft with technology far beyond 1967. Its silent propulsion and rapid acceleration became hallmarks of classic UFO reports. Most disturbing was its apparent interest in a nuclear missile site. The connection between the UFO and the missile failures was undeniable. While guards watched the UFO above, Salas and Maywald witnessed the unthinkable below. An alarm blared. One missile went from green to red, no go. Then in seconds, all 10 missiles under their command went offline. The control panel, once a wall of green, became a wall of red. 10 nuclear warheads, now unresponsive. The missile's guidance and control systems had been completely disabled. Such a cascading failure was supposed to be impossible. Salas and Maywald ran through checklists, reporting up the chain of command. Their superiors were equally baffled. No power surge, no equipment failure, no explanation. The only common factor, the bright red object hovering above, The technical term was a guidance and control system fault, but the cause was a mystery. It was as if an external force had simply switched off the missiles. Boeing teams investigated for weeks, finding no conventional explanation. The event exposed a vulnerability in America's ultimate weapons system. Something had demonstrated the ability to neutralize a significant portion of the US nuclear arsenal. The implications for national security were staggering. The Oscar flight shutdown wasn't the first. Just 8 days earlier, at Echo Flight, a similar event occurred, a UFO sighting followed by multiple missile malfunctions. Maintenance crews saw a large glowing object hovering near a silo. As it was observed, several missiles went offline, again with no explanation. The commander, Captain Don Crawford, confirmed the details. 2 separate flights, miles apart, experienced nearly identical failures within days. The only common factor: unidentified aerial objects. This pattern pointed to a deliberate external cause, one the Air Force could not explain. After the incidents, the Air Force launched a full investigation. Engineers and technicians ran every test, but the official conclusion blamed a vague electronic fault, never mentioning UFOs. This explanation ignored the multiple, credible witness accounts of unidentified objects. All personnel were ordered to remain silent, signing non-disclosure agreements. The official story: equipment malfunction, end of discussion. The secrecy was effective. The incident was buried for years. The motive was clear: avoid public panic and prevent the Soviets from learning of a critical weakness. But truth has a way of surfacing. Over time, researchers pieced together the story. The breakthrough came when witnesses like Salas broke their silence, contradicting the official narrative. Their courage reopened the case and exposed the gap between what the Air Force knew and what it told the public. The Malmstrom incident's legacy endures thanks to Robert Salas's relentless pursuit of the truth. He co-authored a book, spoke at conferences, and testified before officials, keeping the story alive. In 2010, Salas and other officers presented their accounts at the National Press Club, reaching a global audience. He later testified to the Pentagon's UAP office, arguing that a phenomenon capable of disabling nuclear weapons demands urgent attention. The implications are profound. An unknown intelligence has demonstrated control over our most advanced military systems. Was it a warning, a show of power, or something else? Today, as the US government reopens the UAP debate, Malmstrom stands as a critical benchmark. It reminds us that credible military encounters with the unknown have happened for decades. The need for transparency and open reporting is more urgent than ever. The mystery of Malmstrom remains, a stark question mark over the nuclear age demanding an answer. Like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.